Hello. Hey everyone. Welcome to the Facebook, Instagram Live. I do these every other Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And during these sessions, you can ask me questions. So if you are joining this live, you can absolutely put any comments on here. You can also, if you're on the Facebook group page, you can put comments and I will eventually get to them. But part of the great part about coming live is you get to interact with me. So hello, everyone who is joining. I'm so happy to see you here. Oh, Gampa dude. I'm so excited to see you here. So if this is your first time here, basically, I am a wildlife biologist and I do these as career advice. I can see my dog in the back. I do these lives as career advice, so these are all topics that are career oriented. So this week's live, like just give me 1 second. It looks like my Facebook, oh my gosh, hold on a second. My Facebook live is acting up. Just bear with me just for 1 second. I just want to make sure it's working. Let me see. I think it's working. Just give me one more second. Sorry about this. Okay, perfect. It is working. Okay, sorry about that, guys. For some reason, my screen just went blank on the Facebook group page, but whatever. Okay, this is fine. Everything's fine. There's this one meme or GIF that I like of the guy who's just sitting there at his desk and there's a fire surrounding him and he's like, everything's fine, everything's fine. Yes, so that's one of my favorite GIFs. Okay, so today we're talking about grad school and I got this question recently. Somebody commented on my Facebook page and or on the Getting a Job in Wildlife Biology page. So this is a group page I have. It's based on my book, Getting a Job in Wildlife Biology. It's basically about that subject and it accompanies my book. It also has tips and advice. But anyway, somebody commented on there, why is graduate school so intimidating? So today we are going to talk exactly about that. And I am going to dispel some myths. So you're probably going to expect me to say stuff like, well, it's not that bad it's not as bad as you think. Or when you're going through it, or before you begin it, it seems really scary. It seems really intimidating. But once you go through it, it's a step-by-step process and you can do it. You're probably expecting me to say something like that. And I probably will get there. I'll probably say something like that. But really, what I want to say first is when you say, why is grad school so intimidating? First, I want you to examine that. So maybe it's intimidating to you. Yes, I definitely want to validate that. But what I want to say is that that is a choice. You always have the ability to choose what you believe. And this is something I'm really passionate about. This is something I have been working on for a long time. This is something that I work on with students in my programs, that we choose the way that we see the world. And our subconscious brain looks for information to match our reality. So if I have the belief, and beliefs are really just thoughts that are deeply rooted. So they appear to be true to us, but they're not really in real life. They could actually be, not true to somebody else, or they could be debatable. So this person has this belief that graduate school is intimidating. This is actually a belief that I had too. And I forget where I was going with this. But our subconscious, the way that it works is it looks for information to back up what we believe. So if you believe that graduate school is intimidating, no matter how much information you get, you might get a lot of information that that gives you that suggests that you can do it, that you're the perfect candidate, that this is the right track for you, that this is where you should go in your life, that you're totally capable of doing this, and you would actually be a great grad student. But if you have that belief, your subconscious is actually going to look for the information to support your belief, and it kind of dismisses all the other stuff. So this is kind of like how we are focused really on negative criticism. Like I remember actually when I get my teaching evaluations, I thought I was going to be an amazing teacher, and I did get some good feedback, but the ones I really stuck to were the negative ones. So it kind of was like those negative things all disqualify the positive ones. And this isn't the best way to go through life. And so it's not your fault. This is the way we were raised. Our subconscious is the way that it is. But once you understand how your subconscious works and you understand that these are beliefs, you can change them. That is the freaking awesome thing about this. And this is what I love, why I love neuroscience work. This is why I love learning about psychology. So I have been for the past like 5 years now, I have been on this huge voyage, honestly, to study and understand how the brain works and use it to my advantage. So when you have a belief that basically a thought you believe that, or the thought that you think over and over again, or society thinks over and over again, and so much so that you believe it to be true, sometimes you might not even recognize it as a belief. So what I encourage people to do are to pay attention to their thoughts and write down the ones that are really common to them. And what I want you to do then is to determine from these beliefs which ones are empowering and which ones are not empowering, which ones are what we'd call limiting. So this belief that graduate school is intimidating, it feels like it's holding you back, like it's like preventing you, it's contracting you. That's one of the other ways you can tell if it's limiting or empowering. It's not being like, okay, go for it. So it's a limiting belief. So the great thing, again, is you can choose your thoughts. So how do we dismantle these beliefs? And this is something I go into great detail with in my program, like how to actually dismantle, change your beliefs, and then reframe them to be something new that you choose to believe that is much more empowering and will give you the results that you want. So there's lots of different ways that you can do this. But one of the first ways is to examine the belief. So you can say, like, is it true? And so some of these, you know, they might be easy for you to be like, okay, well, that's not true, or that's true. But if you try to think about it in terms of everyone else, okay, so does everyone think that graduate school is intimidating? Well, probably not. There's probably people who don't think that it's intimidating. And are there people who thought that graduate school was intimidating and went through it and succeeded? Yeah, that's me. I definitely did that. So that's kind of reframing the belief a little bit. And, you know, people who went through graduate school and succeeded, they, or went through graduate school thinking it was intimidating, they succeeded. So that's some evidence that maybe you shouldn't let yourself stop at the belief that graduate school is intimidating. Is there a different way to think about this belief that is more exciting or more empowering? So instead of intimidating, when I think of the word intimidating, it, to me, off the top of my head, belittles you. It kind of says like, okay, I'm not good enough. Like that person, they know a lot. I'm not worthy enough to be in the presence of that other person. That's kind of like what it says to me. So examine that belief. Well, what makes you unworthy? What makes you not smart enough? And again, look for the evidence out there. Well, do you have the grades to be in graduate school? Do you have the experience? Look for supporting evidence around you. So have you been talking to professors for graduate school, how it works? You talk to professors and they agree to let you into their lab. It's a little bit different than undergrad where you just apply. So you are talking to professors, and say there are professors who are really excited to work with you, or has any professor said like you should go to graduate school, You should follow your dreams. This is the next step. Well, that's evidence that they think that you belong. So although you may be intimidated, you might not think you're good enough for whatever reason. I'm not saying these are the reasons you think that. I'm just saying these are what comes to my mind. Look for evidence that supports the belief that you want to believe. And then, again, just like question the belief too. Like, does it have to be intimidating? Is there another way that we can look at it? Like, okay, so intimidating, again, like they know a lot, I don't know a lot. Well, it's school. In school, are you supposed to know everything? No, that's why you go to school. You go to school to learn. So maybe it can be exciting. Maybe intimidating can be something you can flip on its head and be something that's kind of expected. Like, I'm a graduate student. I'm new here, and I'm a sponge. There's so much for me to learn. There is so much for me to grow from this experience. So, and then to really answer the question on its face, so that's just some of the work that I do with dismantling beliefs, and to understand that this statement is a belief. But to further dismantle it in terms of somebody who's gone through graduate school, what I want to say is that graduate school can seem hard, it can seem scary, but again, if these are the thoughts going through your head as you go through graduate school, you will be looking for information to support that. I believe that we grow into the people that we or we grow into the jobs that we are given. That's a better way of saying it. So sometimes I would apply for a job that I didn't feel like I was good enough for. I didn't feel like I knew enough for. But the thing is that when you start your job, pretty much in all the jobs I've been in, even the advanced jobs, there's still a learning curve. There's still stuff you have to relearn, stuff you don't know, and you grow into your job. So I believe the opportunities that we're given, we grow into them. So when you're a new graduate student, you're not going to be expected to know everything. You're never expected to know everything. That's what you should know about graduate school. You're never expected to know everything. In fact, your comprehensive exam specifically tests you to get you to the point where you say, I don't know. But anyways, for the end of graduate school, a professor might treat you different than a beginning graduate student. So maybe when you're looking at that from the outside, you might think that's why it's intimidating. But what I'm trying to say is if you're new, the professors might treat you differently, and that you grow into the experience that you're given. So just to tell you from my experience going to graduate school, yes, of course, I was super intimidated. But what I found from graduate school is that you do not have to be the smartest person. Yes, you need some level of intellect, you need to get some grades, take some courses to get in there, but I don't think you have to be the smartest to be in graduate school, at least for, no, I'm going to say this for everything. You don't have to be the smartest. It's not about being smart. It's not about memorizing things. It's not about having all this information in your head. It's about perseverance. It's about working hard. And if you are willing to put in the work, then you will get it. You absolutely will get it. And even the working hard thing is a belief again. So maybe you're working, but maybe it doesn't have to be hard. Maybe if it's something that you really enjoy, it doesn't feel hard to you. And I certainly had periods in graduate school where it was like that. So again, just constantly think about the things that you're telling yourself. But if you're out there like looking for the answer, is graduate school hard? Why is it so intimidating? That is a perspective that is portrayed out there because scientists use a lot of jargon, they use a lot of big language, but when you're a student going through it step by step, you will learn that all slowly. And you can do it. If it's something you really want to do, you absolutely 100% can do it. You just have to go for it. And it's okay to be a little intimidated too. It's okay to, it's definitely okay to feel that way. But it's also okay to just start out with that feeling like you don't know much and you're there to learn. But again, I think we should try to flip it and not to be like I'm so intimidated, but like there's so much for me to learn and I'm so excited to learn. So I hope that helped you guys. And again, this is something I'm really big on. If you have any questions or any additional or comments or any additional questions, put them in the comments right now because I am wrapping up. But this is something I go into depth with my program. This is a new program I just launched a couple of months ago, just about 2 months ago, and we go over all the wildlife biology jobs. We go over how you find the right job for you. But we also go over this big mindset piece, which really holds so many people back. So if you have questions or if you are interested in this program or just interested in chatting, if you're going through some stuff, just feel free to reach out to me. On my website, I have a space for you to schedule a free consultation. And yeah, go ahead and sign up and I'm happy to meet with you. Okay, so Third Eye Jewelry asked, where can I buy your book? Thanks. So you can only buy it on Amazon. And I know not everyone loves Amazon, that they're problematic. But I did self-publish through them. So I just wanted to avoid a publishing company because I wanted to get out my true voice. I didn't want to censor myself. So if you just go to Amazon, the book section, and getting a job in wildlife biology, it should pop right up. And yeah, thanks guys for joining me. If you have any questions, send me a message, put it in comments. I love knowing what's on your mind. It really helps me come up with new topics for these lives. And if you want to get alerts for these to make sure you don't miss them, go to my website and sign up for the newsletter and you will get an email. You'll get an email every single Friday and there will be reminders about these lives. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me and I hope you have a great week. Bye.